A harrowing choice of faith. Night after negotiational failure. Atlantis Imperial Palace. You had him! The king explodes across the chamber, his footsteps echoing along the epic glass pillars and hall. He was yours. All you had to do was kill him! His spit explodes further than his words, spraying the young dragon in his face. The young dragon turned his head, his anger flaring for a second as his skin ashed. He struggled with his emotions between elf and dragon. A female dragon stepped forward, faster than the king could see, yet slow enough for the youngling to feel their presence, as he contained his strength and bit back his tongue, enduring the abuse. As the king raged, Aoi keeps control, as she watches, doing as she was commanded. Her charges watch as Aoi is forced to keep the peace between the chosen guardians and the Atlantean king. The chosen guardians are a mix of dragons, elves, and anything not Atlantean. Sworn men who had given their lives to the king and his wishes, taking on a color rune and obeying the king's every wish, while still trying to keep themselves and the rest of the castle alive. Then there was the withering old king, who was slowly losing what little power he had left. Aoi cared not for his or the High King's orders. She was compelled to say, and not only by her duty to the gods. Aoi's mind snaps to another person, the masked woman on the wall. Aoi struggled as she couldn't understand why she had panicked and saved that woman. Her attention away from what felt like a second, she missed what it was ever said, only hearing the sound of metal tearing flesh and bone. Everyone stared as the head lolled through the air. The face of the elf who had been a dragon. His face. Everyone stared at the lull through as the head lolled through the air. The face of the elf in complete shock. The Mad King had finally played his hand as everyone but Aoi struggled to keep up with the danger they were now in. Aoi, seeing her chance to bolt before the Pixie King, found an excuse to slap her with a collar rune. She escapes out of the room, knowing her charge had already fled as well. Moments later, Minerva landed like a celestial wood from the heavens, gliding gently onto the human balcony. She hesitates for only a second, looking towards the sea. Minerva now understood Thaddeus's madness, and with seeing it, she understands why Samut made the call he did. As her eyes water, she stumbles forward and begins to sob silently. Black paint-like tears sting down from her eyes, staining her soft olive skin as she cried for more than just the loss of life. Samut was right, and there was no other answer to the Child King but him. It would take everything Sammy had to beat him. Minerva's shock was overwhelming as she felt fear. She felt fear for the first time. She'd know if she could watch him walk the very same blade and not cut himself. Minerva feels her own fear and uncertainty flare as she turns, trying to rise. Tears flow like a liquid river down her cheeks as she stumbles back down. Submitting, she curls herself into a ball under the balcony's edge as she struggles to ignore her own knowledge for a rare gift: belief.